Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing K-1 fiancé visas. And a question that sometimes comes up is people will ask me, well, how many K-1s can you apply for? I actually remember being quite a bit younger and watching an episode of Dateline where they were talking about this. This had to have been in the 90s, maybe in the early 2000s. And they were basically talking about people who had applied for a dozen fiancé visas to get girls into the U.S., women, young women especially, into the U.S., and that this was a real issue. And I think that led to what became known as the International Marriage Broker Regulation Act, and IMBRA. And there are now rules with respect to the number of fiancé visas that one can apply for without the need for a waiver. So people ask me, how many can I apply for? Well, generally speaking, if you apply for two within a 2-year period, depending on the circumstances, you may or may not need a waiver. If it's for the same person, and this does happen from time to time where a couple will get a K-1, the K-1 fiancé will travel to the United States, and for whatever reason, marriage just wasn't feasible. I've seen this has actually happened a couple of times with respect to COVID, and marriage just wasn't overly feasible under the circumstances, but they did get to spend some time together, and they went ahead and sought a second K-1. If it's the same couple, it's a much less onerous issue. But if you're talking about multiple K-1s, especially over a 2-year period for different people, it does become an issue, and it may require the need to apply for a waiver of the IMBRA restrictions associated with K-1 fiancé visas. For those who are dealing with this issue, multiple K-1s, it may not be a terrible idea. Go ahead and contact a legal professional, gain some insight and guidance into how best to deal with this.